So far away, Nisha. What's the fastest you've ever been?
What's the fastest I've ever been?
The correct answer is yes.
Well, it would have to be on a roller coaster. I'm assuming like the one from is it Rita, Queen of Speed? I don't know how fast that is.
Well, it's fittingly named either way.
Yeah.
I think discounting being in an aeroplane, which I think is cheating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
my thought just
I think it would also
speed.
put me a roller coaster.
Although I say that I did go to Universal, and I'm pretty sure those roller coasters were faster than Rita because, the rides in America is like everything is much more like faster and bigger over there.
It's all they've got, hasn't it really? Formula One cars are a veritable marvel of engineering, a seamless blend of aeronautical. Damn it, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Formula One cars are a frankly astounding feat of technical engineering, being a seamless blend of aeronautical technology with enough horsepower to punt an engine block into low orbit. Ooh, I nailed it. Don't put in those clips, Karl, of all the times you've messed up saying aeronautical. Damn it, of course I get it right then as well. Meticulously crafted to the point even fractions of a gram are taken into account when being designed. Formula One cars are apparently so fast they can even drive upside down.
That's awesome.
It is fucking awesome. Nisha, what do you know about Formula One cars?
Well, since Adam is a big fan, I don't know a lot about them now, but I know a bit more about them than I used to because it was never really an interest of mine. I know they go like to extreme speeds. It's like 0 to 60 in like 2.6 seconds or something like that, and they can go up to 200 miles per hour. They can slow down really quickly because of the tight turns, etc. And also something they added recently was the halo on the top of the car, which is amazing because I know like a lot of people used to complain about it's like an ugly design, but it saves a lot of lives because so many times I've seen crashes where cars are flipped upside down, and if that halo wasn't there, they would have been, basically flipped on their heads.
Constructed from aerospace industry grade 5 titanium, it can withstand the weight of a London double-decker bus. It is the strongest part of the car, yet it weighs only 7 kilos. Formula One is inherently a dangerous sport where drivers risk their lives every lap. The halo is the latest step in the relentless development of driver safety.
And would have killed them. So it's like amazing, like especially since years and years ago, there was no such thing as that. It was just such a dangerous sport, like more dangerous than it is now.
And I think all you really need to do to appreciate how dangerous driving in a Formula One car is just look at the fact that the person's head pokes out the top.
Yeah.
It's going at like 200 miles an hour.
That is like the good reason for the halo, because that is so dangerous.
For anyone wondering about the fact that they can drive upside down, it's Formula One cars, by their very design, have to produce an almost comical amount of downforce, to the point where an average Formula One car going at medium to high speed produces 3 times as much downforce as the car actually weighs. You're thinking, well, why does it need to produce such a ridiculous amount of downforce? And the simple answer is, if they didn't, the cars would literally fly off the track into the audience like a fiberglass meat-filled coffin.
When the downforce levels change, what we feel within the car is when you reduce the downforce levels, the car slides around a little bit more, you have less grip in the corners.
Yeah, I was going to say, they'll go flying.
Yeah,
like, turn into an
they literally
airplane.
would just fly off the track if they didn't produce that much downforce, because there's that much power in the wheel. It reminds me a little bit of when you play driving games as a kid, and in your mind you think, well, just hold the accelerator on at max the entire time.
Yep.
And your car just goes, whoa, and just flies off the edge. Because I've got the grip, do you want to taking it slow and steady? Oh, no! I'm dead.
Slow and steady, Karl.
Fuck!
Well, it lasted longer than Karl did.
Do you know what it is? That's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because that's what it'd be like. That's like a career-ending crash. I wasn't expecting that. I just flew right up there. The white cat. Do you know what would be great? If I went back to character select screen, I couldn't select her anymore. And is there any examples of that you can think of, Nisha, if you try to play a driving game and absolutely just fucking it all the way up? Because the one for me is I remember when I played like Grand Theft Auto 4, because they had like the Cannonball Run style race where it is just get from A to B by whatever means possible. And I just remember when I was like just running on foot and a guy just got a bus and I went, I never thought of getting a bus. So I just got a bus with like 3 of my mates who were in the back with fucking Uzis. It's like, this is racing games. Let's bring that back.
I don't know, this is a bit different, but I just thought of recently I got Grand Theft Auto Vice City again.
Oh, yeah.
I used to play that when I was younger. And I don't know if you ever remember, you could get like skill points and I think money if you did tricks in the car. And there's like a ramp that jumps over the water. And in Vice City you can't swim, so you cannot go in the water.
It's like all people in the 80s, they couldn't swim. It's very realistic in that way.
And I remember like when I used to play when I was younger, I nailed that jump every time. So I was like, oh yeah, it'd be easy. And I had a go and I literally missed the ramp completely and went straight into the water. I'm just like, I'm just getting worse.
It could just be the fact that game was broken as fuck on release. Because I remember seeing a GIF of like, in the Grand Theft Auto remastered trilogy, if you wiggle your car from side to side, it gets bigger. And just the car gets like really big for some reason.
That's what I have. What? I'm gonna try that.
They might have patched it out now, so you might have to like get a pre-patched version of the game to do that. But yeah, just wiggle your car from side to side and it gets bigger for some reason.
Oh my god.
Bringing it back to Formula One cars, as you mentioned, Nisha, they are capable of some, frankly, astonishing feats of like, just speed. And even a basic bitch Formula One car that's not even ready for the track is capable of like going to 100 miles an hour and then back down to 0 in less than 5 seconds.
That is just insane, isn't it?
Yeah, and just think as well about the amount of G-force on the person inside the car and the level of reactions they have to be able to just control a car at that speed. So have you ever seen like that picture that goes around every now and again of like, this is what a Formula One car's steering wheel looks like?
Yeah.
And it looks like something out of like a Boeing 747. But quite condensed down to a dinner plate, and it's like, and you see the person sat inside and they're like, the elbows are all scrunched in like this and they're wearing a helmet all over their head. They've got like 8 people in their ears telling them what to do. It
must be so fucking hard because you've got all these controls. The steering wheel is like a mini computer.
Yeah.
It's like you're having to know what buttons to press while watching the road, while listening to someone in your ear, or try not to crash. It's just,
while
honestly,
taking into account like every conceivable variable that's like, can impact the way your car's going to handle, such as like, just the fact as well, like the one that blew my mind, and it's probably gonna like, not surprise people who are into this sort of thing, but the fact that they have to have like wet tyres for when it's wet.
Yeah.
So that does make sense. But I remember once watching, so they got wet tyres on the front and dry tyres at the back. But then when I was watching it, I saw the cars going, whoa, whoa, like they're in Grand Theft Auto trying to make the car go big.
Yeah.
And I was like, what they're doing, they're warming up their tyres. I'm like, what, warming up the tyres? What the fuck? It's like, yeah, because the tyres aren't warm, they don't grip properly.
Yeah,
because the fact that all that is taken into account. It's like, I can't think of a sport where like that level of minutia is taken into account. Like I said, fractions of a gram are taken into account when they're making these things. Like, I think they, at one point, like a couple of years ago, were really excited because they made a new kind of paint that was lighter that they could then put on the cars for all the sponsors, because initially sponsors were like just stickers, and the people making the cars didn't like that because the stickers, even though like, they're almost perfectly flat, still represented like, an imperfection in the aerodynamics of the car.
Yeah.
It's like stickers. Stickers are slowing. Imagine losing a race because of a sticker.
Well, they have to weigh the drivers before each race to make sure they're like a certain weight.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Adam's just looked at me funny. What?
After.
I thought it was before.
After.
It's after. Okay, never mind. Ignore me.
Okay. Well, I know that the drivers themselves have to be in like phenomenal shape, and you wouldn't think they had to be. It's like, well, they're just sat in a car all day. It's like, said the G-force on them necessitates having like ridiculously strong neck muscles and like arm muscles. Because I've experienced this in a minor way, because I went like jet skiing once. And that was like, just an hour on a jet ski, and my forearms fucking wrecked. Just after like an hour on a jet ski. And now imagine like, that's your job.
Yeah.
That's every day. And it's like, if you look at people like Jenson Button, because he's the last like Formula One driver I'm aware of, like his shoulders are fucking massive. Because you think that his head is the only way to keep his head in place as he's flying around corners at 150 miles an hour.
I got a good idea who they all are, because I'm going to Silverstone in July this year for the first time to actually experience it in real life.
I just can't imagine that'd be very fun, because all I can think in my head is you'd sit there and you go, no!
Depends where you sit. It depends where you sit, because you can sit in seats where they just whiz past and you see them for like less than a second. But if you sit, like, if there's a straight track and you sit at like one end so you can see them coming towards you, that would be much better, because you can see them for like, I don't know, 5 seconds.
I feel like you should sit like 300 miles back, so it looks like a Scalextric track, so you can just see everything at once. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I guess some people like that.
Interesting.
It's like people who sit behind the net at football. It's like, why are you sat there? That's got to be the worst seat ever, because like your view is completely covered up by a net, and anytime they score a goal, like just the goalkeeper's arsehole's in your face for like 90% of the match.
It'll be a good weekend, because they have like stalls on and stuff to do. It's not just you sit waiting for the race. You can do other stuff, but it's an experience, and I'm trying to do more experiences, so I'll find out if I like it or not.
Because my mum got really into not Formula One or anything, but like racing. She does track days, and oddly enough, like this T-shirt I'm wearing now, my Big Wangers Inc. T-shirt, she wears that to track days to advertise the Fiend brand, and tells that her son does it.
That's amazing.
And one time I sponsored one of their track days for like £100 or something, and just put a Big Wangers Inc. logo in there. I'll try and find it like for the video or something like that. And I put the picture in of like the actual like advert I put in. It was just a QR code that led to the YouTube video of Africa by Toto.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Of course.
But
I don't expect anything else. All right, so what is it about them driving upside down?
Yeah, well, as mentioned, like they produce enough downforce that it equals 3 times what the car weighs. So theoretically, a Formula One car travelling at top speed could go upside down. Like whether or not a driver could handle it when it was upside down is a different issue entirely.
So then theoretically, this is a question that's been asked many times, but I want to ask someone in the know directly. Therefore, can a Formula One car drive on the ceiling of a tunnel?
So the answer is yes. To work it out is actually slightly more complicated than you'd think.
But something smart-asses in the comments might be thinking is, well, even if the car could drive upside down, how would it get any fuel? Because you think, yeah, okay, the fuel tank's upside down, how does it draw any fuel into the engine? Surely that'd mess it up, right? It's like, no, because Formula One cars are designed to draw fuel from all parts of the tank at any given time. Because if you think, like, a fuel tank, Nisha, like the fuel's like sat at the bottom, you can't see what I'm doing, but you can picture it, right?
Yeah.
Sat at the bottom. Now let's imagine you're getting your Tokyo Drift on, your Dominic Toretto's coming out, and you just swing around a corner sideways at 150 miles an hour. What's that fuel doing?
Going to the side also.
Yeah, like centrifugal force or I don't know which one is what. Some kind of force is going to throw that fuel everywhere. Like, like the zombie in the tank at the beginning of like Walking Dead. That shit's getting bounced all around that tank.
Yeah.
As a result, those tanks in Formula One cars are designed to draw fuel in regardless of where the fuel itself actually is. So theoretically, if the car was upside down, it could draw fuel and the engine would work just fine.
That's clever.
It is,
That's really good.
But just that means, like, I don't know, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. But just, in my head, I'm very happy that at the very least, the theoretical basis for F-Zero to actually happen, or Wipeout, if Wipeout's your bag, it could happen. And all we need now is just for one driver to do this, to prove, like, to prove that it could happen. But unfortunately, any driver who would have the balls to like drive a Formula One car upside down would have balls so dense and heavy it wouldn't work anyway. So.
But yeah, because if that actually happened, they could start putting tunnels on racetracks, so they could go upside down.
I don't want a tunnel. I just want a loop-the-loop. Do you like a fucking Hot Wheels track?
Yeah.
I just want a loop-the-loop. So it still pisses me off that they don't put jumps in race. And I know why, because the person in the car would die. I get it. Mm-hmm. But with the advent of self-driving cars, and when they had during the pandemic, they just had drivers driving virtual cars.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, just for my own amusement more than anything, like, audience at home, let us know if you'd be interested in this. Like, just get like banger cars, like not even a good car, just a banger car, a driver like that, and drive the car remotely, and just put all sorts of crazy bullshit in. Like put in loop the loops, put in jumps, put all that like bollocks in, like because the driver is not at risk, just the car is.
Yeah.
I would watch the shit
I would
out of that. I would
definitely
watch that
watch
so hard. Like, I want to see Takeshi's Castle for cars.
Oh my god, yeah.
I want to see like Total Wipeout.
I want to
for
see
cars.
like bloody Mario Kart and Crash Team Racing in real life because that would be amazing.
I just want F-Zero. Like if Lucas was here, he'd be like, I want F-Zero. Because like that's the thing is it's like where you have like F3, F2, F1, F0, like the natural evolution. Like and in that universe, like cars got so good that they just like have basically got anti-gravity in them and just drive upside down. And they could just spin around at like 1,000 miles an hour and knock each other off the track. And it got to the point where you can just crash into other racers. And that's something else about racing. I get it. You can't crash into another racer because you're going to put their life at risk. But goddamn, do I love when I play driving games, crashing into other people.
We just have to also put like bumpers on them, like bumper cars, so that like, you can technically crash, hopefully like survive.
That's the thing though, like, I get why you're not allowed. That's it. I understand why you're not allowed to just crash into another person. But I really want it to be the case. I want to see big car crashes, but I don't want the guilt of seeing someone get injured when that happens. So my solution would be, just drive the cars remotely. Or get AI cars, like, get a Tesla, they crash into shit anyway. Just put them on a track. If they're going to crash into stuff and blow up, well, I might as well get some entertainment value out of it.
I feel like, because I mentioned I wanted to see Mario Kart in real life, I'm pretty sure there is a video out there of someone actually doing that. I think someone will mention it in the comments if I don't mention it. Someone has actually done a video of them doing like real life Mario Kart, and that's amazing.
I think it was like Remy Gallard who did that. He's like the famous, like he's like probably one of the oldest like YouTube content creators who's still going and doing what they did when they first got famous. Like he's the prankster, and he did real life Mario Kart where he dresses up like Mario and just goes around in a go-kart around Paris. And the thing is, you look at it and go, that's dangerous as fuck, but man, does that look fun.
It does.
So I've been in a go-kart like once or twice, and it's so fun. And you just think, I wish I could drive this on the road. I know I shouldn't be able to, but if I did, that'd be so fun.
I've been in a go-kart and I hated it.
You don't like being in a go-kart? Okay, so Nisha, what's your favourite? Right, in which case, Nisha, what is your favourite non-car vehicle you have been in control of?
Non-car vehicle?
Because for me it was a jet ski, because a jet ski is really fun and there's absolutely no risk of crashing into anything because you're just in the water. There's nothing that can go wrong. You can't crash into anything, you can't hurt anybody because you're just in the water, and if you fall off, you land in the water and you just float. And I loved it because I was just on, and I remember because I was in Dubai when I did it, and I think it's the most baller I've ever felt when me and my mate who were doing it, we went past a yacht, like a literal yacht, with a bunch of like women on it going, woo! So I just did a donut on the fucking jet ski and drove off. And I felt like such a and I didn't realise that jet skis fire water out the back. So what I'd actually done is sprayed water on all those women and just drove off.
Oh my god.
Apologies
like
to those women are watching, but I felt like such a don when like all these women in bikinis are waving like, hey, I'm like, yeah, do donuts in my jet ski, let's do. Felt super cool. What about you, Nisha?
Well, something similar but not as cool, just sticking with the water themed, is like this theme park. I don't know if it's still going. It's like at this theme park I used to go to when I was younger, but it was very like lacking in rides.
Okay.
But they had like this bumper boat ride, and it was just like, it's just basically like Dodgems, but in the water. And I remember the first time I went on it, I got upset. I was like a kid. I got upset because I lost control of it. I just kept going around in circles.
Yeah.
But the second time, completely fine. And then bumping into people on water is just so much fun.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you're not going to get hurt because like, oh no, if you're on a road, you'll fall off. You could scrape yourself on the road. You could like lose, like you could break a limb.
Yeah.
The worst is going to happen on the water is you're going to get wet. And I know someone's going to say, well, at a certain speed, like hitting water, like hitting concrete. I wasn't on a fucking power boat. It was a jet ski that went like 20 miles an hour.
these were kids' bumper boats, and I'm not going to go like 100 miles an hour.
I still get like mad salty when I think that like Dodgems don't drive on the road because I'm like, man, I love to drive a Dodgem on the road. How much fun would it be to drive a Dodgeman on the road?
Oh god, I'd love that. Oh
yeah. So fun. I'm just now thinking like I want to go get on a jet ski again. It's really fun, especially though when like you've got natural ramps in the form of waves.
Yeah.
So you'll see the wave, and I got told like, no, you go along the wave, don't go into the wave, otherwise you'll go up in the air. But I want to do cool jumps and flips and shit. And obviously the first thing I did is like, completely rev it up all the way, and just fell off like a jackass.
Maybe that could be one of my goals for next time I go abroad or anything. Just go on a jet ski because I've never been on one.
It, yeah, it's so much fun, especially if you can get like into the deep water as well, because like you could there's nothing there and there's no risk, there's no worry. And then I think my least favourite was when I went paragliding. Never again.
Oh no, that sounds very scary.
Yeah, I don't like heights, but I had to do it because my mate was like, well, when are you going to get another chance to do this? And I went, you've got a good point. And I hated it the entire time I was doing it, but I did it.
So I'm not, just thinking about it, I've not driven much apart from a car and the bumper boats.
Also, I've got something in my eye, so people are going to think I'm crying because I'm remembering being scared. No, I've got something in my eye.
Just a bad
Cheers for watching, everybody. See you next time.